Hey guys, welcome back to another Hypixel API video. And in this video, I'm going to bring over a topic that I find very interesting, very fascinating. In particular, the topic of this video is going to be quote unquote illegal stats. These are stats that are very much unintended by the Hypixel team. However, they were implemented as a feature on the API. And so if you can manage to find a way to get these stats, they're saved for everybody to know that you managed to get them. These are very interesting stats. And they're so interesting because no one knows how to get them, or at least not anybody I know. No one publicly has come out with a way of how to get them. However, they do exist, particularly on Hyplex's account. For those who don't know, Hyplex is a very well-known, and he's actually a leaderboard player for Smash Heroes. And he mains a wonderful kit, Sergeant Shield. So we're going to be taking a look at that. Sergeant Shield specifically, the reason why I chose Hyplex is because when we were scraping stats for my Hypixel Parse Everything parser, which is just a parser that parses the entire player endpoint. If you want, you can take a look at it. It's like a project. You can contribute whatever. It's open source. But we're parsing Smasher stats. Actually, the first game that we started with. And notably, when parsing Hyplex's stats, there's a few exceptions that are very odd. And so we're going to be taking a look at them today because I talked to Hyplex a little bit on Discord, very friendly guy, and he doesn't know how he got them either. So knowing that even the guy who got the stats doesn't know how he got them, and that no one else knows how he got them, and that they are so quote unquote illegal that some specific admins have decided, or an admin probably, has gone out of his way to actively delete stats from players' stat pages to like hide this. I think it's something that's quite interesting enough to go into. If admins are willing to delete stats, then it's interesting going to. And I make this video knowing that there's a decent chance these stats may or may not get deleted from this player's account. And I mean, it is what it is. I don't think Hyplex minds too much because he didn't even know he had these stats in the first place until a few days ago. So we're going to go into Smash Hero stats section. And the reason why Smash Hero is so nice is there's so many stats. There's over 800 important quote-unquote stats that we log in our parser. And so there's a lot of different stuff. And the more stats you have, the higher the chance that there's going to be like a quote-unquote illegal stat. So game modes such as Quake basically have none because there's so few stats under 100 that there's little room for error. However, with such a large room for error, such as Smash Heroes, I figured I'd take a look. And after finding the first one, we found a few more, so it's quite interesting. Let's take a look first at an intended feature. So this is most likely the reason why this is possible in the first place. And so it's because we took intended stats and applied them in an unintended way, and that gave us unintended stats. So the intended stat here is that if you get a kill, it takes what ability you last used and uses that to determine how you got the kill. So there's two types of kills. I'm going to be looking specifically at Ricochet ability on Certain Shield, which is one of your main abilities. So here you'll see the amount of kills, which is total kills. Here we've got Smasher, which is a different way of marking kills. So Smasher signifies a kill with damage. There's two types of kills you can get, and I guess deaths. In Smasher, so you can either die or get a kill via Void, so knocking someone off the map, which is a large portion of the game, or just killing someone with enough damage. So once their health points go below 0, they die, and that's it. Similar to like Skywars a little bit. And so here we can see almost 4K kills with Ricochet, of which about 1,200, 1,300 are from damage. And they're split by game mode and everything, so you can take a look at that on your own if you want to, which I really encourage it. Smash Heroes is such a wonderful game mode in terms of stats. And if you know of any other illegal stats, please comment down below. I'd love to take a look at them. That said, there's also, specifically with Sergeant Shield, another intended feature. So Sergeant Shield gets reflectability. So some projectiles in the game, notably we'll be taking a look at Key Blast here, which is the main ability, the right-click ability on Karakot. And Sergeant Shield is so special because it can get kills with abilities it doesn't have access to, specifically because it reflects them. So, for example, it has kills on Ki Blast, even though it doesn't get access to Ki Blast. Because what happened here is a Karakot used their Ki Blast to right click and shot a projectile towards Hypixel while using Surgeon Shield. And then he threw up his shield to reflect it. And then that reflected projectile, which when you reflect a projectile, it also has a property that increases the damage and speed. That increased damage and speed projectile, so that boosted projectile, went and then got the kill for him. So he did this 28 times. In total, 11 of which were via damage, and then 17 of which were via void. So you can imagine this guy, Hyplex, has this ungodly amount of kills. I think he just hit 10k kills or 100k kills. And just looking at the amount of kills, yeah, he hit 10k recently. He's got over 16,500 kills on Sergeant Shield alone. And that's truly an absurd amount of gameplay on one kit. That is many hours, I assure you. And so he's only done this 28 times. So 28 divided by 16,592, and that's how many, that's the percentage of kills here where he's getting a kill with Reflect like this, which is truly a small percentage. And that's an intended feature. So now we're going to take a look at the illegal stats, which is by taking this intended feature and applying it in unintended ways. So the intended feature here is if you get a kill with an ability, no matter the ability, you get it logged in the API. However, this is usually supposed to be used on Sergeant Shield, and in all known cases, it is. So Sergeant Shield in particular gets a reflect, and that's why it can get kills with abilities it doesn't have access to. However, let's go ahead and take a look at Tin Man on the kit here on Hypixel's side page. And we're going to take a look at three main examples here. The first example on Tin Man, just to show you that it's actually across multiple kits, because we'll be switching to a different kit after this. On Tin Man in particular, I'm going to scroll down until we find Force Lightning here. Force Lightning is the right-click ability, so the main damage ability on the Marauder kit, which is like the Star Wars-esque kit for Smash Heroes. And this is, not supposed to happen because Tin Man doesn't get a reflect. But even if it did get a reflect somehow, it doesn't make sense here because Force Lightning can't be reflected as far as I'm aware. But correct me if I'm wrong on that down in the description. So if you look here, you get one kill. And note that it's a kill in 2v2, and it was a kill via void, not via damage. You'll notice a bit of a trend here with this. So it was in 2v2, and it was by using void, not via damage. And so you can already see here that this is a bit of an illegal stat, and you're not going to see this very many places. I've scraped probably close to a dozen accounts now, and only one of them of the 12 I've scraped had these stats, stats like this that were illegal using my scraper, and it was Hyplex. So there most definitely are illegal stats. In fact, there were on another account that I won't mention that got its stats deleted by an admin, but we're not going to talk about that too much because I think I already talked about the Hypixel admins more than enough on my channel. Now, if we shrink this, I'm going to show you guys another example. So that's just one example of this. Now we're going to go over to two examples on one kit, in particular Green Hood on the kit here. So this is the Green Hood kit, the highest level kit that you unlock, the most expensive kit to unlock in Smashers. And similarly to every other kit except for the exception that is Sergeant Shield, it does not get a reflect, which is important to note. And we're going to scroll down here. There's two abilities I'd like to go over here, both from the same kit. So this is going to be a projectile ability and a hit scan ability by the kit Crowmancer. So the projectile version of this is going to be Frostbolt, I believe. And so you can see he's got one kill in 2v2, and it's a void kill using Frostbolt. So this is another example where this is like an impossible situation. This doesn't happen. You can't use Frostbolt. There's no way to reflect Frostbolt. There's no way to gain ownership over Frostbolt, as far as just about everybody is aware, unless you are playing Cryo or you are playing Sergeant Shield. Because I believe the way it works is when you shoot out a projectile, and it gets a kill, or when you use an ability and it gets a kill, it's whoever has ownership over that ability that gets the kill credit. So in this case, Hypixel got the kill credit on a Frostbolt ability, which shouldn't be possible. And that's a projectile. Going even deeper into this, we can take a look at Freezing Breath here. This is a hit scan ability, and you'll notice he has a kill. However, in particular, another death by Void. So that should be noted. That's the trend here. They're all Void kills, and I have yet to find any damage kills. So it's assumed that there's some trick with Void nonsense where you can gain ownership over abilities that you're not supposed to be able to. And then it should note that this did happen in normal mode, which is 1v1v1v1 mode. So it can happen in 2v2, just like 1v1v1, and presumably 2v2v2, although nobody plays 2v2v2. So I guess we don't really get to know if that's possible or not. So essentially, it can happen in any game mode, most likely. And it has some physical property that is tied to void kills. And that's about all we know about it. And it's not limited to projectiles, not limited to hit scans. Any ability, as far as I'm aware, that does damage can use this. And that's my main topic for this video. It's just that there's illegal stats like this. In particular, I was looking at Smasher stats here. There's some of these all over. I've seen these essentially in every corner of the API. However, it's always nice to look back. If I found one like a year and a half ago, you forget about them. They get brought up again. It's always nice to refine them and to research into the mystery. Now, some of these illegal stats aren't such a mystery. They're very simple to understand after you get the concept of how they were created. It's sort of like a magic trick where if you know how it's done, you can't forget and you just know forever and it's sort of ruined for you. However, for those who don't know the answers behind the magic, then it is a complete mystery. And in this specific case, the magicians are the admins, and no one knows the answer. No one is open to the answers, and it's a mystery to all of us. If you have any clue as to how this has happened, please join my Discord down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on if anybody has any idea of how this happens. Our current hypothesis all seem to be false. I've done some basic testing, and everything I've tried has seemed to be false, and I tend to be pretty good at bug finding with stuff like this. And if you know of any other illegal stats, please join the Discord and DMing them. I love hearing about illegal stats. I'm hoping that in the near future, I can make a video of which the topic being just listing out a lot of illegal stats. I think that'd be really interesting to show off to the community. Anyways, that's been it for this Hypixel API video.